Hi, my name is Kevin Kloster, and I'm the District Superintendent for the Prairie Hills District of the Dakota's Annual Conference of the United Methodist Church. That's a mouthful. And I'm going to be leading you through this staff parish relations training where we're going to be taking a look at developing your yearly calendar. As mentioned in a previous training session, staff parishes are supposed to meet at least quarterly and more often if possible. So we're going to use that 4 times a year as a template. So in that first quarter, let me share some things that you need to consider doing. First, you organize your committee. You select a vice chair and a secretary. Keep in mind that your secretary is going to be keeping the minutes and that those minutes are not going to be detailed. They're just going to be around decisions and actions that have been made so that we maintain confidence. We're going to train our new staff parish relations committee members using videos like this or maybe another training resource that you have. It's always good to review the job descriptions for your lay and clergy staff, especially if you have new members that are coming on board so that they really understand what are the role, what are the duties that we have set aside for the staff that we've had. And then also to review different policies such as the sexual misconduct policy. And what do we do if one of our clergy or staff members have been alleged to have committed some form of sexual misconduct? Also looking at other policies that may relate to staff. And then you take a look at your staff parish relation goals and you set your meeting dates for the coming year so that everybody can get that on their calendar. In your second quarter, you're going to be reviewing your continuing education plan with your pastor as related to your pastor's goals. Every pastor is to develop goals and then to supplement that by saying, and this is how I plan to grow in these particular areas so that I can accomplish these goals. So you have a conversation about your pastor and how your pastor plans to grow in those areas and accomplish those goals. You engage in formative evaluation. This is the ongoing day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month kind of evaluation that says, you know, Pastor, this is what we see as your strengths. These are what we see as your growth areas. These are some things that we think you could let go of that you don't need to be doing anymore. These are some things that we'd like you to take on. It's that ongoing feedback that you get that helps pastors to be more effective. And then you'll engage in a parsonage review. This is not optional. Every church that has a parsonage needs to do this. A lot of times we do these in the fall. I'm going to argue that we do them in the second quarter because it gives us time to engage in maintenance over the summer if we need to. If you click on this, if I click on this, it's going to take us to the web page. And this is our webpage, www.dakotasumc.org. Click on resources, come down to forms and resources, click there. And then if you page down, there's all sorts of cool little things, but right here, Parsonage Annual Review. And there it is. You can print that out and use this as a guide for reviewing the parsonage and making sure that the parsonage is meeting appropriate standards and that it's being well cared for, and that if there are issues that need to be fixed, that you're getting those things fixed. Again, you do that with the trustee, with your parsonage committee or staff parish, and the pastor. You'll be scheduling maintenance and repairs that need to be done at this time, and then you'll move into the third quarter. And if you take that third quarter off, you may have to double some of these things up in the fourth quarter. That's okay. That's up to you guys. So in the third quarter, you'll engage in what we call the pastor's summative evaluation. This is where all that feedback around the formative evaluation comes to a decision-making point. Has our pastor been really effective? And is the pastor still the best pastor for us to continue to be a missional church? Or is it time for us to bring in a new pastor? And you'll engage in budget work around setting salary for your pastor and other staff. You'll be taking a look at an accountable reimbursement plan. That's a professional expense plan for your pastor. The IRS does not allow pastors to deduct professional expenses. So this is an account where the pastor can purchase books, go on continuing education, attend workshops. Travel comes out of that. Mileage comes out of that. Meals, when taking out a parishioner or somebody, may come out of that. And they just turn receipts in and they get reimbursed. You'll also deal with any other budget items that relate to paid staff. And then you just slide into your fourth quarter. you'll engage in what's called the appointment review process for clergy. And this is the summative evaluation. This is where all that formative stuff comes to a head, and you make a decision as to whether or not you want your pastor to return for another year. And if I click on this, it will bring us again to our web page. And then in the web page, you go to Resources, come down to Forms and Resources, scroll down, and you're going to find SPRC Assessment. If you click on that, it's a Survey Monkey. And this is what your SPRC will fill out in the fall in either late third quarter or early fourth quarter. You can see it's usually due in November. This is an older one, but it's basically the same. And you'll just walk through and give us all the information that we're looking for. This is some of that evaluative stuff here. And when you get to the very bottom, you can right here say, is there anything else that you would like to share with the cabinet? And you can tell us whatever you want to tell us in that area. And then right here is where you say whether or not you want your pastor to come back. You click here, yes, we would love our pastor to come back. We think it's time for a change, or we would like our district superintendent to visit with us because we have some concerns. And then other information you put in here, and committee information, and you just click Done, and it shows up in your district superintendent's email. And from there, your district superintendent will know what your desires are. And in that fourth quarter, the SPRC evaluates its own work. And here's just a framework. Some questions. How did we do? How did we do supporting our pastor, encouraging our pastor, interpreting things for our pastor? What did we neglect? Were some things that we should have done that we didn't do? And where did we really shine? And to affirm the work of the committee during this fourth quarter as you prep for going into a new year. So basically, those are some things that you can look at for a calendar, for developing a yearly calendar. And our next session is going to be on, I think it's on evaluations. So look forward for that, and we'll talk to you soon. Again, thanks for your work serving on this very important committee in the life of your church.